Hello everybody and merry meet. Lady Leeanna here with another edition of Wicca for today. And I hope that you can actually hear me really good. There's a bit of a storm brewing around me. It's quieting down right now for the most part, but it could kick back up, and I really like rainy weather. I mean, it makes me feel good, calm and peaceful inside. But today I wanted to talk to you about a very controversial subject. One where people just don't understand or absolutely refuse to look into to where they could draw an understanding of it. And that is about our horned gods. Now, there are three that I will be referring to for the most part in this video. And that is Cernunnos, also known as Herning. There is Pan, and then there is the Green Man, also known as Jack of the Green. And yes, I know that he isn't depicted most of the time with horns, but sometimes he is. Anyway, these are three very light deities that we adhere to for the most part, and we'll be making a lot of references to them. On the other side of things, there is the Christian underworld aspects of the pantheon, which are Satan, Lucifer, the devil, and Baphomet. And those are the things that the Christians, agnostics, and even some Christian Wiccans are afraid of or try to stay away from. And, for the most part, they'll seem to apply, those underworld Christian aspects of their pantheon to being the pagan deities, Cernunnos, Pan, or the Green Man, and so forth. But they're not. They're totally different. Pagans do not believe in Satan and the devil and Lucifer as entities at all. They might acknowledge them as an idea of dark and negative energy and as, an evil source of bad energy, but they don't acknowledge them as deities, much less could they actually worship them in whatever way, form, or fashion. Anyway, our pagan gods with horns, they're actually about hunting. They have been depicted as having ram's horns, bison horns, cattle horn, and antlers. These deities are depicted in these ways because they're gods of hunting, wilderness, and animals, and not because they're aspects of Satan. Basically, you would have to look at the Indian way of doing things in the oldest days. And that is that they would go hunting on the prairies and they would kill bison. And while the animal was freshly dead, they would cut it open and take out the animal's liver, and they would take a big old bite to take that animal into themselves and make it a part of them in honor of that animal, and so that they could let it live within them the rest of their lives. And this is basically what Cernunnos is. He is a deity which is depicted most of the time with antlers, deer legs, and cloven hooves, and he holds a hunting bow. Now, all of this, it tells you straight up that it is about hunting. That's all it is about. He is allowing those animals that he hunts and kills to be a part of himself. And in doing so, he's showing you, the pagan, the witch, the person that is hunting and being at one with nature, he is conveying to you through his own aspects, through his own appearance, that you should Let nature become a part of you. Let it live within you eternally. Acknowledge the deer, the buffalo, whatever. Let it be a part of you and acknowledged that it should walk within you forever. And if you do that, then you're doing right by nature. You always have to give back. There is always something that you have to give in respect to the earth. You know. And humankind is just not doing that too much today. Most everything that we don't use or don't need anymore, we grind it up and flush it, or flush it down the toilet, or whatever. We are not being the good pagans that we should be, and let that be a lesson to us. You know, we really do need to work on that, all of us. Okay, but the animal aspects within Cernunnos tells you that he is about hunting. The foliage and leaves around the green man or Jack of the Green, that is telling you that you should always respect the earth and the foliage that the earth gives, whether it's the herbs and foods that you take into your body to eat or cure your health with, or you know, that which you burn in the air to scent the air. You know, always honor it, be respectful to it, you know, and let it be a part of you, you know, because you are what you eat. You really are. And that's the statement that Cernunnos is trying to make, what the Green Man is trying to make, what Pan is trying to make. These deities are also known as protectors to a large degree. Also bringers of peace, like in Pan and playing his flute, you know, and the Green Man as far as calming you with his herbs, you know, with Cernunnos as far as looking out and into the woods and acknowledging that he's out there and in everything. You know, I will tell you, in the very beginning, whenever I first started my walk, right after getting out of Christianity and studying to be a minister, actually, which I completed and was ordained, right after this, I began seeking out other paths because I knew the world was broad and there had to be other things to look into and other things to look at. You know, I began journeying through other pathways and within paganism. And I found Raymond Buckland's complete book of Witchcraft. And inside this book it depicted Cernunnos hunting. And it was the first time I ever saw an aspect of him and being called that. You know, I saw this picture of Cernunnos hunting within the Raymond Buckland's book. And it almost looked as though he was being depicted as Baphomet, you know. But, you know, it scared me. It reminded me as to, or reminds me now as to, why people are afraid of him upon looking at him. And I can understand because I was there. At first, whenever I saw him in this book, I thought, well, maybe there is some validity to Satan being within witchcraft. That which was attempted to be beat into my head all through the earliest part of my life. And it scared me away from Wicca and paganism for a while. And then I came back, poking my head back in to look around, and saw it again and then decided to read upon it. And my studies for years, and I did stay guarding away from Cernunnos for years, I read upon it and drew to the understanding that he was about hunting animals. He was about the good hunting, you know. As a matter of fact, you know, it was shown to me that men in tribal days would clay mold statues of bison and deer to throw spears at, so that if they actually impaled it, it would show a good sign of the hunt. You know, and this helped me to draw fine land to an understanding of it. Everyone should be looking into these deities for an understanding before they judge the person using this deity. If I remember right, all 12 of the disciples and Jesus Christ all wore white robes, you know. But does that make Judas Jesus, and does that make Jesus Judas just because they look alike? And just because an antelope and a deer both have horns, does that make them the same animal? This is what people should really look at and consider when they're trying to make a judgment against depictions of different deities. You know? I think that people just really feel threatened whenever you try to appeal to their better sense, and whenever you start breaking through, they fight against you. They don't want to see. Well, this has been Lady Leeanna with another edition of Wicca for Today. And I hope that this show has been of a help to you and you got out of it what you needed. Please share the video around and please subscribe to help keep the channel going. Thank you very much and blessings. Bye-bye.